Personality. Please. Greetings and welcome to Snarky Wizard. I am CYAN, and today we're going to talk about The Unknown by Phil Pricem. Death had pursued you, taking away your wife and little girl. You hold your breath as a new case comes to your lap, opening the Pandora box, an old secret, the real reason behind hundreds that had left no trace behind. Are you ready to open a little more the box and discover a hunter of lore? So let's hit the road and marcha the plot. Every year, some very specific individuals disappear without trace around the world. A young man, a former police officer who had lost his family after taking a break and changing job, was asked to help his best friend. Soon, he stumbled across a series of abductions and murders, which led him to an ancient secret, a doorway into another world, filled with vampires and creatures of legends. The vampires are the ones abducting and killing in order to fear their master and win a long-lasting war. My snarky view. When I acquired this book, I didn't realize it was a story with vampires and different dimensions, with sparks of horror, action, and mystery. This tale is unique in the way the supernatural world is introduced to us. The characters are likable, even the villains, but definitely don't expect an easy ride. Sometimes you will want to give up and stop, but curiosity and resolution will kick you into continue and end this novel. Kind of spoilers ahead. The science fiction and mystery born of the concept of doorways to other universes or worlds gives a new spin to the vampire mythos, making it original and interesting. The first chapters are a nightmare. They are confusing and sometimes don't make any sense. They have too many jumps and they are a problem because, again, sometimes you just want to give up and close the freaking book and don't finish it. When things start to get interesting and you want to know more about the characters, lives, and points of view, the narration flow is cut off abruptly. Next, when you have accepted this format of narration and have a good idea of what is going on, the story again mocks you, ending it too soon. So it's crazy. You're like, okay, these don't make sense. Then when you freaking story start to make sense, you want to know more about this. They cut the story and pass to another one and pass to another one, and suddenly it ends. I got very frustrated with the short brushstrokes about the vampire kingdoms and the two brothers' battle for supremacy. The author tells us about the war that the King Corgan and King Regan had, leaving them clinging to life after a horrible battle. How for years they lay unconscious, healing, and how their subjects were waiting for them to wake up and gain the complete control of the portals or doorways. But I really need more. This is what starts the plot, and in a way is what it ends this first book. And they don't give us more, and don't let me start with the portals. This was another thing that I was very interested in, and it wasn't explored enough. I enjoyed the backstory of the former humans before they became vampires. How their original traits didn't die but transformed, making them more imperfect and in consequence more dangerous and more complex. I love the character of Barbara, and again I would have liked to know more about her. The author portrayed her as an intelligent and open-minded old woman, and if she was like that in her old age, I cannot imagine how marvelous her journey was in her youth. There was much of the book that could have been edited out without sacrificing the story and giving more life and backstory to this fantastic world. An example of this was the love story. For me, it was too much, and I was more interested in the vampires than in these characters falling in love suddenly and love at first sight and having sex and... I want to know more about these creatures in the different realms and know how this girl has his first orgasm. It was... Anyway, this novel is considered horror, paranormal, fantasy, and vampires. If you like Generation C, Blue Skin, Annihilation, Every Heart a Doorway, The Strain, and The Passage, you will like this book. Well, kind of. Favorite quotes or lessons from this novel? I am just a normal guy trying to live a normal life when all hell breaks loose. There were no place in this world for these things anymore. This quote was referring to vampires, unicorns, giants, etc. Our worlds have lived side by side, but lately they had forgotten about each other. All the legends come from our world. He knew the world contains good and evil, and in this age of legends and suspicions, the simple folks believe in weird and wonderful stories. I want answers. At the end, we all want answers. I'm old, and the chances that I get my answers are slim, to say the least. I give this novel, I don't know, it's 3 or 4 or 5 Tesla light bulbs. Okay, maybe 4 because it's a good story, it's intriguing and interesting. Nevertheless, you really need to make an extra effort to get to the good bits or the use of the tale. I'm sure some will find it very good. However, I will need some time to consider to read the sequels because I don't like the pace of this novel. Well, that was my Snarky Wizard review. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. Join us and become Geek Paladins. Adios. Snarky. Wizard.